This is a song for every girl who's ever been through something she thought she couldn't make it through, yeah.
Hey you guys, this is your girl Emma B, back with my first video. Let me see if this thing on. Okay, it's on. And I'm really excited about doing this video, and I've really been contemplating about doing this video. It isn't about doing YouTube, period. But it was really pressed upon my heart to do. So I was like, you know what, you didn't go through what you went through for no reason. You know, it's time to just come out and really just share your story and really help other women and men that actually went through the same situation you went through. So, of course, you guys already know me. My name is Emma B. I actually reside in West Palm Beach, Florida. I have two beautiful children, Jedediah, he's 5 years old, and JL, she's 4. So, yeah, so let me just get to the story. So, I actually got married June 2nd, 2012, and I was married for, I would say, 2.5 years. I would say the beginning of February 2015 is when I separated from my ex-husband. And we were going through, I actually was legally divorced October 2015. I can say that during those period of me actually being separated from my ex-husband, it was hard. It was really hard because, mind you, you guys, I wasn't working. I wasn't working at all. I wasn't working. I didn't have a career. I didn't have nothing going for me. I gotta be honest. I didn't have nothing going for me. And I literally had to start from square one. Like, I had to start from square one, literally, you guys. I didn't have anything. Like, I didn't have anything to my name, anything. So, I left. I left. I literally packed my stuff and I left. Like I always tell people, I didn't leave the marriage, but I left the environment. I left the place that I was in. Like, I wasn't at a good place mentally, emotionally. I was not at a great place at all. I felt like I was mentally. I felt like I was in prison. I felt like I was stuck in a place that I couldn't get out of. I felt like my only escape was for me to just leave the place I was at. Mind you, I didn't leave my marriage. I left the environment I was at. And I would say I left end of February. I was served with divorce papers. This was something that I expected, or it's something that I wanted to do. But it happened. You know, I was served with divorce papers. I'm not gonna lie, throughout my separation, I was praying. I'm like, Lord, restore my marriage. Like, restore it. I'm like, God, because I truly know that when God put two people together, He doesn't want divorce. He doesn't want people to go through a divorce, because I feel like, you know, like the word of God says, what God has joined together, let no man separate. And I know that this wasn't what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for it. Like, I didn't get married to divorce. I always tell people that I did not marry to get divorced. Like, I did not get married to get divorced at all. But this was actually my reality. This is something that I had to really go through. And I will never forget at the moment. I literally went on a fast, y'all. Like, I went on a fast, and I was like, God, restore my marriage. You know, I'm like, God, restore my marriage. Like, restore it, because I would never forget when I got married. You know, I actually told my ex-husband, I was like, you know what? Divorce is not an option for us. Like, if we're going through within our marriage, divorce is not an option for us. Like, we're going to work this thing out. Like, we're going to work it out. Divorce is not an option for us. So, me actually going through something that I said I would never go through, was like really just, it was a shocker to me. Like I was so shocked, you guys. I was so shocked. And I was like, Lord God, my God, you gave me 2 beautiful children with this man. I literally went on the fast, y'all. Like literally my separation, my ex-husband, I went on the fast, like, Lord, restore my marriage. Restore it. But no one knew I was praying to God to restore my marriage. And even as the days began to approach, the days began to like go towards my court date. Because we actually had a court date established and everything. It was in October. And one thing I've learned through this process, it takes 2 people to want something. And if the other individual doesn't want it, it's not going to work. You know, it takes 2 people to fight for something that they truly desire, that they truly want. And I was actually fighting alone, like, so it wasn't going to work because I was the only one that wanted this marriage. So I was actually forced to go through divorce that I didn't want to go through deep down inside. I didn't want to go through at all. Because mind you, I was actually, my parents have been together for, I would say, how many years? Almost 30 years. And I wasn't raised in a broken home, and I actually didn't want my kids to be brought up in that type of manner. So you guys, it really discouraged me. Like I was really discouraged. Like I was really discouraged, and I would never forget. I was so depressed, y'all. I was so down, like so depressed. I'm like, God, why did you allow little old me, you know, to go through this, to really go, to just really be in this place? Like, my God, why did you allow little old me to go through this? To really go, to just really be in this place? Like, my God, why did you allow little old me to go through this? You guys, it was hard. Like, it was so hard. It was so hard. And I would never forget being actually that day of me going through my divorce in October, and the judge, he literally was like, had us raise our right hand and was like, do you guys agree? Yes, yes, yes. Damn, divorce over. Literally took 5 minutes. We were divorced. I wouldn't say reality hit me right then and there, but it didn't hit me. Reality did not hit me right then and there. I would say reality hit me probably like a month after. I'm like, wow, I'm a divorced woman. Like, I'm actually divorced. And yeah, I'm like, wow, I'm actually divorced. It finally hit me a month after. I'm like, wow, I'm actually divorced. I feel like what hurt it the most, because I still love them after everything I've went through, everything I've endured. I still love them. I love them a lot, you know. So it was just like, it was like going through something that you didn't want to go through. On top of that, you still love this person. So it was just like, now I have to deal with a broken heart, me going through a divorce, and me still loving this individual. It's like how do you cope with all those emotions at once? Like, how do you really cope with those? Like, how do you really deal with those emotions? And it took prayer. Like, it took reading the word. It took fasting. It really took God just really dealing with my heart. I'm like, I literally had to. This is how you know when you truly love someone. Then you gotta ask God to remove the person out of your heart. That literally was my prayer. I'm like, Lord, I'm not with this man anymore. Like, you have to remove how I feel, every emotion that I feel within my heart. Like, you gotta remove it, because I'm like, Lord, I'm no longer with this man. Like, so you gotta remove this feeling that I feel. You guys, it hurt. Like, it hurt like hell. Like, it hurt like, if I would never ever want anyone to go through a divorce. Divorce is something that someone don't want to go through. Like, I always tell married people, if you could work your marriage out, work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Please work it out. if I have any married couples that's actually watching this video right now, work your marriage out. If you can fight for it, fight for it. If both you guys are willing to come together and work it out, work it out. If you know you can't work your marriage out, if you know deep down it's not gonna work, hey, I'm not forcing no one to stay in a marriage that they don't want to stay in. You know, because you'll be miserable for the rest of your life. But I really encourage married people, if you're going through hardship, if you're going through, like, ask for help, but do not call it quits, because divorce is something that you do not want to go through. Like, you do not, especially when you have children involved. A lot of times we get so selfish and think about ourselves, or he's not doing this, or she's not doing this. I've learned that marriage is literally like an empty box. You got to keep putting in, keep putting in, keep putting in, keep putting in. And forgiveness is something that you got to do daily. Forgiveness is something that you have to do daily. And marriage is not easy. I know I've only been through it 2.5 years. Like, what can I say? But what can I? You know, I can tell you guys what I actually went through within my own experience. And marriage is hard. Like, it's hard. It's a lot of work, but it's capable. It's doable. You know, if you guys would just literally put your heads together and work as a team, you know, and put your selfishness aside and just compromise and do what you gotta do for one another, it will work. You know, guys, marriage is beautiful. You know, this is something that God designed. This is what God wanted for us human beings. You know, one thing I can say, that the devil hates unity. So the devil will do everything in his possibility to destroy it, because he hates unity. The devil comes to do 3 things: kill, steal, and destroy. 3 things. So if you can work your marriage out, you guys, work it out. And I'm just speaking off of my experience, what I've encountered, you know, what a divorce can do to you and your children. Well, actually, when I actually went through my divorce, my children, Jedediah was actually 1.5 in jail. We call her Divine. Divine was like 6 months. So Divine was like literally, she didn't really know anything. So I would say Jedediah seen mommy and daddy together, but JL was like literally, she was clueless. She didn't know what was going on, and she didn't know what was going on at all. But it's still a big factor, because right now it's just like now I have to just deal with my kids going with their father for a certain amount of time, and my kids come back to me. And it's like, you know, as a mother, you would love to be around your children 24/7, but I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy my birth, yo. Like, I really enjoy my me time, because I'm not gonna lie, we as mothers, we need me time. Like, we need it. It's necessary. It's vital for us, because, man, those kids can drive us up the wall. Let's be honest. They can drive us up the wall. But it's just like me just coping with this whole separation thing. Like, my kids have to grow up in 2 different homes. I'm not gonna lie, it bothers me. It really does. It really does bother me. Like, that my children have to grow up in 2 separate homes. But I know that people go through this. People go through this, and I know by God's help, I'll be able to do this. Not until, you know, whenever, if God decides to send me a husband, you know. But as of right now, I'm doing this thing by myself. I thank God for aunties. I thank God for grandparents that's actually being a big help to me, helping me raise my children. And I thank God for them daily. But let me get back to the story, you guys. So, divorce. And a couple of months later, hearing he's married. He's married. I was so broken, you guys. I can't even lie to you. I was so broken. I was still in love with this man. I was so in love with this man. When I heard he was married, I was so hurt, you guys. Like, I was hurt. I'm not gonna lie, I was hurt. Because You guys, it took me. I've been divorced for, I would say 3 years. I mean, it was for 3 years. It took me. I would say it took me. I've been 3.5 years. Let me see. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, October will make 3 years. 3 years, I guess. You guys get the point. So it took me. I would say it took me 2 years, 2.5 years, to really allow God to just really deal with my heart to get over my ex-husband. Like, it took me 2 years, 2.5 years to get over him. It was hard, you guys. It was hard to just get over someone that you thought you would spend the rest of your life with. Like, it was so hard to just truly, let go emotionally. I'm saying everything, It was hard, like, it was so hard because I love this man dearly. It took me 2.5 years to really get over him completely. So it took time for me to just heal. And when I found out he was married, I was so broken, y'all. I was broken because it's like after everything you've been through with an individual, and you stayed through everything, and you thinking that you're going to be the one that you're going to spend the rest of life with this individual, and it doesn't turn out the way you expect it to turn out. When I heard he got married, because I was so hurt. Did I cry? Did I cry? I don't know if I cried, but I just know I was hurt, you guys. I was really hurt that he was married, and that's how I knew I wasn't over him. Because if it still bothered me, I was like, Emma, you're not over this man. You're not over him. And it's normal because I'm still human. I'm human, This wasn't my boyfriend. This was my baby daddy. I was married to this man. We that everything that I feel, like, take it away, like, remove it. Like, I prayed. I literally prayed. And it was hard, like, you guys, it was hard. I remember me finally, like, coming into realization that I was divorced. I was so depressed. I was down. I was embarrassed. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I was so embarrassed. Cause I'm like, I was embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, Lord, I'm divorced. Like, I was embarrassed, y'all. I was so embarrassed. I can't even lie, I was so embarrassed. I was like, Lord, I'm divorced. I'm like, oh Jesus, I'm divorced. Because it's like, I believe it's more of a culture thing, like, within our culture. Because, like, especially my background, within my dad being a pastor, and, like, within, like, my siblings, all my siblings are married, except my little brother. My little brother is actually, he'll be 21. Wow, 21 this Saturday. But it's just like all my siblings, they're happily married. They have a beautiful family. They're all married, and to see, like, my parents. They've raised us up, saying, like, you're gonna get married and you're gonna stick it through and no divorce, and to just see me go through this, like, I'm like, God, why me? And I'm not gonna lie, at times it hurt bad, because to see my sisters with their husbands, with their kids, with their family, and me, I'm just like, I'm broken. Like, I'm broken. I'm here trying to restart my life all over again. You guys, it hurt bad. Like, it hurt bad. It really hurt bad. But I believe I was suffering. This is something that I had to go through. This is something that I had to deal with. This is something that Emma had to go through. Because I believe I didn't know who I was. I would say 3 years ago. I didn't know who Emma was. I didn't know who I was at all. I didn't know my identity. I didn't know my identity in Christ. I didn't know my value. I didn't know my worth. I didn't know what I carried. I didn't know who I was. And like literally God had to literally allow me to go through this journey, allow me to go through this passage and strip me of everything to literally God literally had me in the palm of his hand. God was just literally molding me. He was just shaping, molding me into this woman that he knew that I would be. And I always tell people I thank God that he allowed me to go through this process of brokenness, of hurt, of embarrassment. Because everyone knew about what took place within my marriage. Like my marriage, my life literally was exposed to the world. I can say this is something I wasn't ready for. I didn't think my life would be exposed to the light, to the public the way it was, the way it went. But I believe that God allowed it to be exposed like that for a reason, to show women, to show men that if I can get through such a thing, you can too. You can too. Like I can truly. It's not easy. It's not easy at all, but it's doable. It's capable with God's strength, with prayer and the Word. And yeah. So I know God, I'm everywhere, but I'm just really trying to pull my heart out to you guys to really. To just really explain to you guys my journey of my divorce. And I'll never forget when I was going through my divorce. I was like, I'm done with men. I was like, I couldn't, like, I'm not gonna lie, men disgust me. Like, I was like, I'm not dating no more. Like, I'm done. I'm not going through this, I was like, I'm done. I was like, I'm so done. Like, I was done. But you get over it. I'm not gonna lie. It takes some time, but you will get over it. I'm not gonna lie. I go on dates here and there, but I'm single. I'm not with anybody right now. I am single. So, and I'm waiting on God, and I'm just, it's still some things that I have to work on myself. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of things I have to work on with me as an individual. I always tell my friends this, that I refuse to go into a next relationship to give a man half of me. I want to be able to give the next man I'm with all of me. And but I'm willing to talk to a guy. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to, but the next person I get with, I want to make sure that I want to make sure that I won't say I'm going to be fully ready, but I want my heart to be truly healed. And I know some things that God still has to deal with me about. And but I'm ready to love. I am ready to love again. I'm ready to love again. I'm ready. But it's still some things I know I have to work on. So, and like I said before, I chase love. I gotta work on me first. And I've always put myself before people, and I've learned to just put me first. I've learned to put me first, and that's what I'm doing now, putting me first. And but let me go back. Me actually hearing my ex-husband get married, I was hurt. I was really hurt. And then it was just like, now this is my reality. This is something that I have to deal with. Like, I'm a divorcee. I'm a divorced woman now. It's just like, how do you cope with this? How do you really deal with, how do you deal going through divorce? How do you deal with being divorced? Like, how do you deal with it? I didn't know how to deal with it. Even me going through a divorce, I didn't know how to deal with it at all. I thank God for people that God placed upon my life to just really direct me, to really lead me, to really just pray me through, counsel me through. And if it wasn't for these individuals and for friends that cried with me, that prayed with me, that seen me through a lot of things. If it wasn't for them, I don't know how I would have got through this whole divorce thing. Because I gotta be honest, I should have been in a crazy home right now. I should have lost my mind completely. I will never forget a time when I was actually going through my divorce.